With the creative team of TRIpolar, I play at the Horror Underground Film Festival. Rogelio is our director. We have Paul Fisher, our actor, and then we have Matthew Miller, the DP. So how's it going, guys? How'd you guys all meet together? Did you guys meet for this particular film, or did you guys know each other previously?
So
Look,
I met Matt like way back when we actually worked together, and me and him when I wanted to start filming, I reached out to him to be my DP, and he decided sure I'll do it, and we've stuck together ever since. And Paul Fisher, he's just a great actor. He came up, and I love working with him, so. Like everything that I do, I try to get him in there. He's a great man and a great friend, a great actor. Both of these guys, and love having them.
I just want to make sure that
well,
Paul Fisher the third, right? That's how you're credited.
Yeah, and I say I because that's how it got put in my IMDb, and when they make fun of me with
Oh,
that.
because you're the third Paul Fisher on IMDb, so that's what you call yourself.
No, I was the third in my family, but the
Oh,
guy
okay.
that put my IMDb up, it was a back scratching favor. I did something for him. He put it up, and he didn't understand what it meant. So it's Paul Fisher IMDb is, so that's why I say it
Gotcha.
because you want people to be able to find you.
Your dad's Paul Fisher, your grandpa's Paul Fisher.
Yeah, yep.
Gotcha. Same middle name as well.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, Merwin. You don't take that name by accident. Merwin.
Oh wow.
Yeah. The girls love it. It's great.
Do they? Well,
Oh,
maybe not the girl that you're acting with in the film. Like I'm talking about the character because it's a really kind of a broken relationship. That's the premise. And then it gets into kind of a horror dynamic, right?
Yeah, most definitely.
Do you remember when you kind of came up with this idea because you wrote the script?
I did, and it was funny because I actually sent it to Paul first, and yeah, at first he was kind of like, "I'm not really feeling it, man." And then I told him that I had gotten Rob Kobaski involved for the for the SFX, and he was like, "Okay, count me in." So, you know, it was a lot of fun working with with uh, with Rob. Getting to see him do his magic, and so that was pretty cool.
So right, so who is that? Somebody like I guess is he somebody in the scene in the Tucson scene for special
Oh,
effects?
I mean, he's pretty big, man. Like if you look at his Instagram, he has like a lot of hits because like the stuff that he does, he's really talented. He's a really phenomenal SFX guy. And if you're ever looking for somebody, look up Rob Kobaski. He's the man.
in advance. In advance. He's usually always busy. He picks and chooses what he does now. He gets flown all over. Yeah. He is pretty much a superstar. Arizona, sure, but the rest of the industry, his name means something. So he's a great guy. I like working with him.
Yeah.
And yeah, so people on set that are make the day go better because there's a lot of downtime. Really change how you feel about making a film with them.
Sure, of course.
yeah, I
That
had the
makes that
pleasure of
makes.
working with him. Sorry.
Go ahead, good.
I was just saying I had the pleasure of working on him with two other films as well, and some of his final practicals came out like pretty awesome. Um, did some like fake glass work, did like a Devil Engine. These were some other projects, so I had the chance to see some of that stuff before he helped us, and it was pretty awesome too. But yeah, great guy, really good at what he does. So
So there's kind of a twist like halfway through the film, I guess, right?
Yeah, definitely. I wanted there to be that twist where, you kind of feel like things aren't looking too well for the wife. And then, in the end, she's the one that kind of snaps and, ends up taking him instead.
So that's what you kind of like. It's like, but we're like the actress who played her. Who is she?
Dee Marie.
She's her name's Dee Marie Smith. She's I've worked with her in a lot of films. She does a lot of like the makeup as well. So she's really talented, not only as an actress but as well as the makeup part of it.
Mhm.
She's awesome. I have another film coming out next year, and she's a part of it. So really looking forward to that.
So how is the film scene in Tucson in general? Like, is it like is it bumping? Like what's the vibe?
I mean, it's definitely, I mean, it's already been a place, just start like I think the Westerns that used to get shot here, like people knew of the area, but recently, like a lot of people have just been creating, putting stuff in festivals. We have like, I think I could be wrong. I think there's like three main festivals that happen here annually. Um, and then we've got the Loft movie theater, that's iconic here in the screening room. It's just a lot of great artists here, actors, producers, directors, like you name it. I think it's starting to get recognized a little bit more than it has been in the past. So I think you're going to start to hear a lot more names and things coming out of this area. Fuel Pueblo.
Oh, Pueblo.
So Paul was mentioning that before we pressed record is that you were telling a film crew or to go to Tucson instead of Phoenix. Phoenix is kind of like is that you're kind of like the big brother of Arizona? Like, do you guys have that rivalry, I guess, of with Phoenix?
Well, I do. I might be the only one, but
Okay.
they do a lot. And there's different things. There's like art house movies, and I think a lot of Tucson is that. And I just think coming from a corporate world, my first and second life, that I'd like to see it monetized a little more. So, and I'm kind of vocal on that, just because I think you get more a little better product when people are financially motivated, and they get up and they go, okay, this is an actual film. I'm being paid, and Phoenix does, a couple of the filmmakers there, they really focus on that. So I just want Tucson to be recognized. I mean, they should be. I also feel that there's a lot of people like the indigenous people here that don't get involved. And let's face it, with these phones and 4K, everybody can make a film. And why not get those different points of view? And you never know what a script or being on set, especially with like a Roy or other people who allow you to take the story and make it more organic and let it breathe and grow. Not that you have to do verbatim on the lines. Like this one, the character I played original was milk toast, very, very plain. And I asked him if I could spice it up a little, and he said, "Well, let's see what you got." But yeah, I look at Phoenix as um a little more business-like, and I don't want to take away the creativity, but it helps to bring in a buck here and there.
Yeah, well, I guess it's all about supply and demand. It's like if you create a product that has demand, then I guess there's money to be made, I guess, right? So,
Well, I got a movie camera
yeah,
recently, and I figured, if I'm gonna talk, why don't I put up, right?
yeah, exactly. And is there any like financial is there any like grants in Arizona at all, or I'm just curious?
I know they're getting the tax incentive worked out
The
here,
film?
just like bigger play. Yeah,
Yeah,
that they've been fighting for to try to get. And I mean, we had some big productions here. Like I think it was called Duster from HBO. They filmed a couple of scenes here too, and I think that was right when they were trying to get the funding here just to make it more of an incentive for people to go out and create too. So that's what I'm saying. I think there's a lot of things in the work. It's kind of crazy it took this long for
well,
it to
look
come
what
to
happened
fruition.
to look what happened to New Mexico. Look what happened to Albuquerque.
Yeah.
They filmed like three iconic shows. Same creator, but
Yeah.
three iconic shows in 15 years, right? So, and
Well,
they
they
get
and
tax incentives, right? There's a huge
right.
incentive to film there.
Yeah, they took Duster from here. So
Yeah,
Duster, because I was a feature background guy. Duster was done here for the pilot, and then they got it for the rest. And I think they did 7 more episodes there.
there you
And
go.
Yeah.
there you go. And
Yeah,
that's what it is. I looked it up. 39 different states have some sort of tax incentive.
sure.
So it's the ones that are a little more aggressive. And it seems like I don't follow it 100%, but it seems like Arizona seems to be fighting it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we have it, but then somebody else comes in and says, "Oh, well, it's not working right." And the thing about it is, a lot of us just want to make films, and
Yeah.
but you have to remember it's a business as well.
I was just using New Mexico as an example because I know that it has similar landscape, I guess, like desert and kind of
Yeah,
like, yeah. And yeah, so but then it's all about what the government wants, who, like, it's all that, those factors, right? So,
Right.
but at the same time, you need a new good crew. Like, if you don't have a good crew to be part of these films, then, or TV shows, then damn the tax incentives. Like, you need people who have talent, who can be part of the crew.
yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk about this film. So then I guess the theme of the film is that it's kind of like female revenge in a sense. Would that be fair?
In a way, yeah, I would definitely say that. And I wanted to touch up on a little bit of like behavioral health. The mental health state that the husband was in at first. Just to kind of touch up on that, and then yeah, I guess you could say it was more of like a revenge story. She finally gets back at him and just finally puts him in his place.
And you kind of root for her in a sense when you're watching the film
Right.
too, right?
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, like when we're filming it and like you're just seeing it take place, man, it just felt perfect. And then just putting it together, editing it, and then finally watching it. I got some feedback from some people, and they loved it, and it just made me feel really good about it. Um, I mean, just being on set. I mean, for all my films, it's always a good time, especially when Paul's there. He's a fun guy. He's always breaking out the selfie stick, and we got a little party going on, but at the same time, we keep it business, professional, and we get it done.
So last year we talked and you did the film Dark Room, which was another horror, right?
Yeah, correct.
And it's almost like kind of like a theme of like kind of bad men, but then kind of losing their mind. Like you kind of mention mental health, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Is that like a theme
So
of films?
yeah, for sure. I mean, it's more of like a psychological horror thriller type of thing. And I know that I do need to submit to you guys to your festival the second part for Dark Room. We actually finished
Bedroom.
that Red Room Requiem.
Requiem, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I need to get that submitted because I mean, it was pretty good. It came out really good, I thought, and for a little sequel to Dark Room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so so then like why do you think that there's a theme with your films? Why do you think that you kind of focus on the genre or mental health in general?
Well, me personally, I suffer from bipolar disorder, and
But you
before I
don't
got
become
put
a
on.
serial killer, but I guess I don't know. I'm assuming you
Well,
do.
that you know of,
Yeah. Yeah.
I've been like seriously, man. Like before I got put on meds and stuff, I thought I was losing my mind, and
Yeah.
I was really violent and stuff like that. So, I mean, I've kind of lived it firsthand.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I mean, it's pretty crazy, but at the same time, you just kind of see it for what it is, and you just kind of want to put it out there so that other people can see it for what it is too. I mean, it's real life. But, I mean, a lot of people suffer from that stuff, and
And a
so
lot
I
of people
mean,
don't get help
not
or
everybody
get
turns
meds,
into a
right? Get
serial
the proper
killer.
meds to get help, I guess, too, right?
Who's that?
I said you got the proper meds, you got help.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
A lot of
Yeah,
people don't
I, I
get that,
didn't I
right?
didn't become a killer, thankfully.
No. No, but I'm saying that a lot of people don't get help. Like, a lot of people don't like suffer for their whole life, right?
Yeah, definitely. There's like two roads. You become either a serial killer or you kill yourself. Sadly, that's just kind of the way it goes.
So how did you get help then? Like, how did you get the meds that you needed?
Well, I actually took the path. I was suicidal. I had suicidal ideations. Um, I had to go to the hospital, and I work with psychiatrists. I still work with one today, till this day. Um, and just had a it's kind of trial and error when it comes to taking the meds. What works best, what works, what doesn't work. And right now, I'm like I'm on the right dosage, on the right meds, and I'm able to live a normal life.
Yeah.
Like everybody else. Yep.
Like, yeah, what is normal, I guess, right? And when did
Right.
you start getting into film?
Well, Darkroom was the first one we did. That was what, like 3 years ago?
Years
Three?
ago.
Yeah,
Really? That was
It
your
was like three and
first?
a half years.
Huh.
that was your first film.
Yeah.
And what kind of motivated you to get into making movies?
Um. Well,
Da-
like I
David
told you the
Lynch.
first one, David Lynch. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I started writing books, and I mean, I loved writing, but I just wanted to do more. I wanted it to come to life, and Matt, he was really big into his photography. He's really talented with that, and that's why I reached out and I was like, "Hey, man, like I know we've never done this before, but let's do it." And here we are now.
Cool.
It was definitely a shock, I think, like because I had we known each other like for years prior to that. But he was like, but I knew he had wrote and he had put out a few books, and then he was just like, man, I wrote a script for a movie. He was like, do you want to film it? And I was like, what? I don't do videography or not a cinematographer. And he was just like, nah, we should just try it. It'll just be me, you, and an actor. And I was like, and then he sent me the script, and then it just kind of like naturally progressed. But it was just cool because I think that's how a lot of people start. Like you just kind of do something you love or what you're like really interested in, and you just kind of, the false point, just create and just kind of like see where it takes you. And like I think when people enjoy what they do, like you get a little bit more rawness in it, passion. And so like I think that's what this has been like a passion projects, like the films that we've been doing.
Wow, that's interesting. So then you never thought about film until Roy came to your life, until Roy kind of introduced it to you.
No, yeah, for sure. Like I had always, I always, I've always done stills, a lot of nature, landscape, street photography, and I've done a few like, like weddings and like portraits and stuff like that. But it was always just like it never felt right as like a profession. Like I didn't want to be a professional photographer, and then I've always taken video on the side, but that was just for me. And when you said it, I was like, I mean, it is interesting. I'm definitely engaged. And so it's kind of just like pushing you out of your comfort zone. But yeah, it never crossed my mind to do it. But it's cool to have people like that. Like even Paul too, like he's tried to get me out of my shell as well. We've talked, offline and whatnot. And just like, sometimes you just gotta kind of take a leap of faith. So I mean, yeah, first time and then I just enjoy it, you know.
Right. You're like, I don't know. And I'm like, well, then jump off the cliff, man. Come on, man. Why not?
But it's high. It's really high up.
I know, but it's
Yeah,
it's going to get a lot shorter as you plummet down. I
yeah.
mean,
You just can't die, I guess, right? But yeah,
right. Well, Kevin Smith, and he says you got to find your why not people, right? He goes, if you want to do this,
yeah,
you got to find the people that look at you and go, yeah, why not? I'm not doing anything Saturday or Sunday, or I can write with you, or why not? It's the fear or I don't know, insecurities or whatever. It's like
sure.
people talk about it and talk about it, talk about it. There's another lady I follow, Ally Thier, and she runs a school in New York, and she started like all of us. And she's like, I made a film with my phone. And then I found a friend. And then we did this, and we did that. And then we did the, proof of concept. She calls it a calling card. And then, you got your 15-minute movie because you got a 90-minute movie and you want funding. Then you take that. And that's how she became who she is. And I love that idea to just get up one morning and instead of, eating your frosted flakes, reading your paper, whatever you do, today, why don't we go make a movie? And like I said, I'm going to talk to these guys offline. I got a camera, and now that we, if we have more capabilities, let's make more movies. Let's make maybe better shots, maybe different shots. Let's say different instead of better. But you need the attitude. There's no doubt.
Yeah. And then there's like a 10,000 hour rule where like the more you do, the better you get, and then the stronger you get and the more confident you get. Yeah, 100%.
Yep.
You said recently that in 10 minutes ago that you said you worked in the corporate world, and I was looking at you online. So you've been doing this for 11 years, right? So
Something like that. Yeah.
yeah, so something like that. So this is your kind of your second. Why did you get into acting? What's your origin story?
Main reason I got into acting was totally by accident. So I worked in the corporate world, and then let's just say I was having a little too much fun with the corporate spending and going across the state. I mean, across the country. And anyway, as I was crawling back into life, a guy that had worked for me, he went to NY film school, and he just called me up out of the blue and said, "Can you hold a boomstick?" And I said, "Well, I don't know what it is, but it's a stick. I can hold it." So I did crew for him for like 4 or 5.
That's what she said. Go ahead.
Right, boom, boom. But it was that whole yes attitude. I'm like, sure. And then as the show went, and it's called Blacklisted, and it came out the same time as Blacklist, so everybody thought something different. But anyway, then he comes up to me one day and he goes, "I'm doing an origin story where this bad guy comes into town. He takes out all the other gangsters, kind of like a little Hill Street Blues thing, where you had all these little gangsters, And he goes, "I want you to play the lead of the Irish gangsters, and I want you to be really obnoxious and have your big mouth basically get everyone else killed." And I'm like, well, it sounds like a stretch. And what happened was we had fun time with the scene. It was one of those 16-hour days because, you had 5 or 6 little gangs and you had all these people. It was a long day. And then I got SAG eligible off of that one thing because they took it in and it was a pilot. And they went to Oxygen and all that. And I just got the letter from Ken Howard, who I remember as the White Shadow, but he was the SAG president at the time. I got it out of nowhere, and I wasn't expecting. I'm like, wow, this must be easy. I'm gonna go do this, and we all know it's not. And then I came here to take care of my parents, and so I took about 3 or 4 years off. You can see that like 2014 to 2017 or something, as far as credits go.
Yeah.
Because that was pretty much 24/7. Pops had dementia, and then I just kind of pushed around, and there wasn't much here. It was before the tax credits, so but the kids in San Diego called me. They'd see me in something, and they gave me little parts, but they were full features, paid. Nobody else was giving me that, so I
Yeah.
would drive to San Diego from here, and then turn around, come back, and I guess that caught people's attention that I was willing to do that, and if I said it, I would do it, and some work came around, and that's pretty much it. I'm pushing envelopes. I'm trying to get a little bigger, but at the same time, I want to have fun, and I still take care of mom. So I
Oh, so
guess
that's
that's
why
about
I
it.
was going to ask you why you still in because your mom's still there.
Yeah, pops left us in 2020, halfway through in August, and then her friends came up to me and just kind of said, because I'd been talking that I was going to go to LA, make that, the
Yeah.
whole thing. But then the vid happened, and that just changed the industry because you can do it from here uh, to a point.
Sure.
It'd be nice to get better representation, somebody really hustling, because I hustle, but it'd be nice to somebody with a little more connections.
Yeah.
But I figure that'll happen when it's time. And in the meantime, my soul gets fed. I'm doing what's right by my family and being a better person than I was sometimes. And you meet people like Roy and Matt, and I think as life goes on. And Dee Marie, let's talk about her just for a second. She impressed me. She seems young, and like Roy said, she's more of a makeup person. But I had played with my role, and I said, "Hey, can I surprise? I don't want to tell anybody what I'm going to do." And he said, "Yeah." And most people would have been a little like, what did he just say? And she just rolled right with it, like she's been doing and yes for years. I mean, which is the improv, guidebook, and yes. And I was impressed with that because she immediately is like, "Get the hell out of here! I'll shoot you," or whatever she said. But when you meet people like that, that makes you want to like yeah, give me 4 years on a sitcom so I can come back and spend half that money working with these people, you know?
Yeah,
That's
gotcha. That's cool. That's yeah, you seem like a pretty like a loyal son. I hope your mom's proud of you.
she is. Yeah, when she's not pissed at me, she's proud, but you know,
Yeah.
it's hard being a parent to a parent. In fact, it's impossible, but you do the best you can. And like
Yeah,
I said, I'm blessed to be here. So there you go.
yeah, the world goes full circle a lot of times in life, doesn't it?
It does. It
Yeah.
does.
So you guys got a plan for another movie then, the three of you, or separately?
I wanna
Um,
I wanna bring them in on something. And that's why I got the camera just to, work around. I mean, I think we all have ideas in our head.
Sure.
And um, so why not see what else we can do, you know? And Roy, I mean, this guy every once in a while, he just sends you a script, and then the next day you get another script, and you're like, "Oh, this is a rewrite," and it's something totally different. And then you get a third, you get a fourth. When he has the time, because
Yeah.
his brain is busy. And well, if he's bipolar, that means he's got two brains going. So you never know what you're going to get from it.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I'm just finding out tonight. So I make fun of everything because I feel that,
Yeah.
but he knows I love him. So there you go.
oh yeah, definitely.
That's good but like sometimes the meds can squash some creativity, but it looks like he's got some like
Oh,
you're doing well.
he's got plenty left.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I just finished the script last night, and I was very proud of it.
Are you still proud of it?
Oh hell yeah! I'm always
Right?
I don't think I've ever written something and I'm like, nah, like I don't like it.
You
Yeah.
usually he'll message you and be like, "Hey man, what you up to?" And I'm like, nothing, just about to feed the family." He's like, "Hey, so I wrote something. I'm gonna send it to you." And I'm like, "You just sent me something like a week ago." He's I'm like, yeah. But it's been pretty cool, like to kind of see into someone else's like world, like their imagination.
Yeah.
And I
It
think
is.
obviously you have to, I don't know if you have to be a horror fan, but it helps because sometimes stuff can get dark and people don't understand. And so I think it takes a certain type of person to just read it and like read it for what it is and not like overthink it
Yeah.
or like, man, that's a little gruesome. So like, sometimes you're just like, oh, that's pretty badass. So
So I was in Tucson when I was a young teenager. My dad's college roommate was living in Tucson, so we went down there. And I remember going there and I remember thinking to myself, this is like the greatest place in the world. It's like you see the mountains, it's like beautiful landscape, it's always hot. It's like, but not too hot, but it was like, but I just loved the people. And it was like, this is a long time ago, so I'm sure a lot has changed, but you got Mexico like right down the street, and then you got Grand Canyon if you want to go to, and then you got Big Phoenix. It's like this is the kind of the ultimate place. I'm like, I would love to live here. I was in Niagara Falls, I was in Canada. So well,
wow.
I still am, but basically I was in Niagara Falls. I grew up there, so I remember like going there and going, "This is the greatest place." I loved it. So I get why you want to stay.
I, f- I think to that point, like stuff is so like it's one of the few places where like you only have to drive a couple hours to get to like the beach,
Yeah,
to like some mountains, to skiing. Like it's very convenient to do multiple things, and then it already has all of its own perks.
yeah, and Los Angeles is not a. It's a quick drive. It's not like a quick drive, but it's in
About
its
7
vicinity. You get
hours.
there in a day.
Oh yeah.
11.
See, I'd go to San Diego, and I'm not going to tell you how long it takes me because I might get in trouble. But
It's like 8 hours. It's like 500 miles or something. Or
I've been known to do it in six. But anyway,
you just
and then
told us.
LA is just 2 hours up the way.
Yeah,
And if they come a little down, like doing Oceanside or something, because I get some work here and there, and if they go past it, it's not too bad. So if 8 hours, that's a third of a day.
yeah,
If you can't do that, then you're not that serious anyway, as far as work goes. But just, for a game or a weekend or,
yeah,
it's nice that you can get to San Diego in 6 or 7 hours.
yeah,
But you also got this place, you got Phoenix, you got the Grand Canyon, like they were saying, but you also got Flagstaff, and there's a lot of cool things there. Like there's a giant bear like zoo kind of thing, you know. And you know, if you keep your eyes open, there's a lot of fun stuff, you know.
Yeah. Cool. All right. All right, guys. Well, yeah, I was gonna say I won't get into politics though, but that's like my only drawback. But I love to go there. I haven't been there in a long time. So, guys, I wish you guys the ultimate best success. Seems like you guys are going to be doing different projects, either like by yourself or together. So, I wish you the best. What you eating there? Is that yogurt, Paul? You're eating?
No, it was ice cream, and
Ice cream.
now it's a milkshake.
Now it's
And
a
yeah, I was sleeping earlier. I did a gig up in Mesa, which is an hour and a half from here,
yeah,
on Saturday, and I played Krampus, and that was like 25 pounds before it got wet. So you do an hour on, an hour off, and basically you're at a horror convention, and I was sweating and all that. But the boots, man, it killed me. So and I had maybe 1,000 people I interacted with. So I'm just getting over that. So I woke up, had my alarm set for 7:15, so I could get ready for this, and then I figured a little sugar might help.
yeah.
So
You got.
there you go.
It seems like you got a little bit of a sunburn too.
I'm always red. People ask me about that.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's anger or I have a convertible, and I never like to put the top on. You know, it's kind of like putting baby in the corner, you know. And so maybe I get that wind burn or whatever. Just my blood pressure is great, so I don't know where that comes from, but yeah.
All right, guys. Well, let's talk again when you make your next film, either together or individually again.
It's nice meeting you,
Definitely.
man.
Cool.
Nice meeting you.
Thanks again. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime. All right, man. All right. Have a good
All
one.
right, guys.